everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Guru Show. And for the Guru Show today, we got two very special guests. And we got a director, Christen Chen, and the star of the horror film that we're going to be talking to them about, Leila Scott. I think I said your name wrong. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. I'll have you say when you come on. And I'm probably gonna have the difficult time saying the name of the horror movie too. So we'll have that getting said too. Erzulie is the name of the horror film. And we got the star and the director of the film on the show. And we're gonna find out all about the film and when it's coming out and all that fun stuff. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Guru. And my interview with Christine and Leila of the horror movie Erzulie will be coming up very shortly. This is my Guru Room, and welcome to my nightmare. Okay, welcome to Guru, and thanks so much for taking time out of your nights and coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Do you have an accent?
I actually live in Philadelphia, so I mean, I guess I got a Philly accent.
I can hear it.
I can hear an accent, but I don't. Yes. I wouldn't be like, that's a Philadelphia accent.
Neither would I.
I would be like, maybe that's an Australian accent or something.
I was thinking like, wow. Dang it, no, it wasn't Scottish. Maybe
Scottish, really?
I can't think. I can't remember which one it is because I'm like, I would have to hear it again. So when you slip up again, I can remember.
You know, it's funny you said that, Christine, because like someone else was on here like a month ago, I think it was, and they asked me if I was from Australia.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm from Philly.
Yeah, no, it reminds me of it. Our DP was Australian, so some of the words that you were saying, like "own" and stuff, it sound very Australian for some reason.
Wow. Yeah. Like this is probably the second or third time someone has actually said that to me. Like I have an Australian accent, like an Aussie. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I guess I should go visit there to see if people sound like me.
Or you can blend in. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So wanted to start off by asking Christine, like, what inspired you to want to write and make this horror thriller film?
Sure. So I grew up loving mermaids, and I've always been fascinated with mermaid folklore and everything. As a kid, my room was covered with stuff from The Little Mermaid. And it was 2 summers ago, I was in a pool with my production designer, Kelly Penna. And we were drunk, and I said, I want to make a mermaid film. And then she goes, me too. And then I started writing it. And the beats of the film are of the short film that I wrote, which was about 7 pages long, are very similar to what the feature turned out. But we definitely, later when I had my co-writer Camille Gladney come in, that's when we delved into the folklore of Erzulie. Erzulie is actually based off of a Haitian goddess who's a protector of women and children. And she's sometimes seen as half human and fish. And we just kind of took some liberties, and it was inspired by Erzulie. And we delved into it because Louisiana has always been an interesting place in terms of filming and folklore. So that's how it all started. Yes.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. Nice. And like you created like the whole outfit, right? Like,
so the design of Erzulie, I hired a special effects company in Austin, Hogfly Productions. They designed the tail itself, but they were working very closely in line with my makeup department head, Roxy McDaniel, and she designed the look of Erzulie. And a lot of it that we wanted it to convey was something that that you could see coming from a swamp, a Louisiana swamp. So animals like alligators, snakes were huge inspirations for the creation of Erzulie. And then anything that had voodoo ties and Haitian folklore ties, we also did extensive research and applied it to the full design. But I just had a vision, like an idea of what I wanted, but Hogfly, Meredith from Hogfly, and my makeup artist Roxy took it to the next level. So
Wow, okay. And Layla, like, what drew you to actually want to play the lead role? Like, you are her, the goddess of woman
Thank
and
you.
and
Thank you,
children and
darling.
kids, right? Isn't that what it is?
yes.
Woman and children.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
that's you.
It is me. Well, like every other audition and every actor has their audition. I liked, because when you get an audition, you do not get the full script. So you don't really have much to go off of other than kind of making context clues with the lines. So just the way that I felt she carried herself when reading those lines sounded very much goddess-like. And I was like, okay. Because I call people peasants in reality. And reading that little bit of a script was like, she would definitely call someone pet. I like this role so far. And then when I found out later, like she's a mermaid, and then doing the research that she happened to actually be a goddess and very powerful and very loving and sincere, that drew me even more into the character. But initially it was just the dialogue, because it made me feel like she would say peasants and I say peasants. So it just goes right along with the script, if we want to do a pun.
Okay, there you go. And like, did you look up the myth of her? Like, did you study a little bit about her to get ready for the role?
Myself or Christine? Are you?
You, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yes, obviously. I just noticed you said the role, that Leila. I did. I wanted to respect the role, especially since it was based off of a culture. You don't want to do anything that would be disappointing, to say the least, but also disrespectful. So I did copious amounts of researching, all the way down to dialect, to Haitian Creole language, to things that Erzulie likes to eat and drink, to finding Erzulie has 3 husbands. So it makes that much more character that you can bring to the scene when you know that much about who it is that you're playing. So yeah, there was a lot of research that went into the aspect of creating my version of Erzulie.
Oh wow, okay. And this is a question for both of you. I know the film isn't out yet, and without giving too much away, but is there a certain scene that you both like the most?
Sure. So the film is actually available now on
Oh, it
video on
is available
demand.
now.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, it came
I
out not too long ago.
I got my information wrong.
It's all good. June 14th, it came out on video on demand, so you can watch it on Amazon, iTunes, pretty much all transactional video on demand platforms. And my favorite scene, which coincidentally was the hardest day of our shoot, I think it was day 3 of our shoot schedule. It was the first time we had seen Erzulie in her entire galore. We had done tests prior to shooting to make sure that the makeup would stay on, that the tail worked and everything. But as a team, we had never seen Erzulie completed until to that day. So the actors, all their reactions were very genuine when Erzulie comes out of the water as herself. And that was a very stressful day, because we were all on edge as to whether because I mean, the success of the film really depends on whether Erzulie is convincing as a goddess mermaid, and so that scene is the first time the audience sees her in her entirety as a mermaid as well. So it was an extremely stressful, and because of how important that scene was. And so when that happened, she comes out in all her glory, and it looks amazing on camera, I think there was a big relief throughout the whole team, the camera, makeup, everybody, because we knew that what we had would define the success for the rest of the film. And so for me, it was amazing to see that, for her to come out and look like the goddess that she is. But it was funny too, because in the moment, it was so difficult technically to shoot that scene. Leila can tell you about this part, but yeah, when she comes out, there's bubbles and a lot of special effects that are going out. That doesn't make for easy acting. So Leila can tell you about that experience.
So yes, there were bubbles, lots of bubbles. And the bubble machine was pretty strong. Like, it was freaking strong. So being underwater, I had to do this weird, like, bow-legged back bend thing with my legs to kind of keep my head submerged. And I also had in contacts. So one, I was like, I can't lose these contacts, which means I can't get any water in my eye. So I had to think about that. And then two, the bubble machine was shooting water up my nose because it was like right next to me. So I was like turning my head underneath the water until she was like, and then actually I'd have to turn my head and then come up like slow, but it was like shooting water. So I was snotting, and she was like, "Hey, do it again." And I was like, "This is not so sexy." And she was like, "Don't worry about it. You look good." And it actually did look good. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Leila herself was very surprised that it looked really good, because she definitely didn't feel very good in the moment. Yeah,
sure.
It's not operating with a very heavy tail in water with machines throwing water up your nose and still needing to look like you can kill everybody and be a goddess is extreme skill. So yeah, she was
Definitely
like,
is.
I don't look sexy at all. And I'm like, yes, you do. You are a goddess. Just do it again. So
that part I love. Like, okay, again.
and again. So
I think
that
honestly,
was my favorite moment, because everything, I feel like the entire film hinges on that moment. It's like the moment of truth. From that point on, we knew that we had a film. We're fine. Like, as long as people get amazed by this beautiful mermaid, we'll be fine. So that for me was the most rewarding, because it was like months of work and prep leading basically to that moment. So
well, mine was when I was dragging someone. So there's a stunt where someone does something that they shouldn't be doing, and I take care of it in my own way. And so when you see it, you will know.
Yeah, the audience loves it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And just seeing my face at the end of it, like when I'm dragging, the face that's like, oh, I don't give a shit, and I'm powerful, and you just wait what I'm about to do to you next. That look on my face was just like priceless. Every time I watch it, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, yes.
One of those moments when you're an actor and you watch the thing and you're like, oh, yes, because you got exactly what you wanted. Good feeling.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, another question for the both of you, like, how was it like working on the set for the film, and did you actually work in a swamp too, or was it you actually did work in a swamp?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that was the hard part, was that it was filmed in a swamp, and a lot of the underwater stuff was in a controlled setting in a pool. But sorry, let me switch spots real quick.
Right.
But the actual water portions, when we were in the forest and all that was a live ass swamp. And when I'm not directing, I usually AD and assistant direct, and so my focus is always safety. And when you're shooting in a swamp at night with very much alligators and snakes and water that could drown you, that was extremely stressful for me from an AD standpoint.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, yeah, we had two people who were in charge of water safety. One would be posted inside. His name is Greg. He would go in and basically try to scare off any animals, anything, before any of the actors would be able to be allowed to enter into the water. And then at the other end of the water, there would be somebody who was tied off to make sure that if anybody got caught in the current, they could catch them really quickly so that they wouldn't get drowned or anything. Our water safety, almost like lifeguard kind of person. This logistically would have been difficult during the day, but it became even more difficult because it was shot completely at night. So a lot of our biggest stunts and stuff. So yeah,
Wow.
It was really hard.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, would not recommend.
Just make sure you bomb the area so you don't have to deal with a shit ton of mosquitoes.
Yeah. No, yeah, we also had people go in and bomb it with mosquito pesticide stuff because it was during the late April and May when we shot it, and there were mosquitoes that they're just trying to attack and make your life miserable. So yeah, it was definitely would not recommend.
Yeah, definitely. And Leila, like, what did you like most about playing this awesome goddess?
Other than the fact that she likes everything I like, I would say her vengefulness, but in the works of being a protector. Like, she's only vengeful because she's protecting someone. And I like that a lot because I'm not that person. I'm such a softie. I am a pushover. I'm a true 100% Cancer. Like, I'm squishy on the inside once you get past the shell. And sometimes it ain't even that strong. So for me to see that in someone else, and a strong female woman, especially a woman of color, especially something as amazing as a mermaid, it's amazing to look at that and be in awe of that presence. And so I say, there are a lot of aspects of Erzulie, but those would be in general is her sense of protection, if you will, not necessarily vengefulness, but her strong sense of love for someone enough to protect them. Maybe in an animal-like way, but nonetheless, the job gets done.
The job gets done.
Exactly.
The job does get done.
Exactly.
And
sometimes karma pays Erzulie, karma's on vacation, Erzulie's got it.
Exactly. Was it hard at all to have that detail and the outfit and all that?
No, it was actually kind of fun. It was fun. It was a lot of fun putting all the prosthetics on. Took about 5.5 hours process to put on, and a little over 2 hours to take off after the fact.
Wow.
So once it's on, and it was so thin and mimicked my body type or my body temperature essentially, because it was silicone. It just didn't. It was rather natural. The tail it's kind of weird because there's so much weight on your ankles and your feet, and most humans are not used to that. So it's an odd feeling because you're just like, I have an appendage and I can't use my feet. This is strange.
It's like if you put your feet together and tie it up and put like a weight on it, basically.
Oh, yeah.
But then are expected to swim.
Yeah. All the way up to like a little bit past your ankle. You wrap all of that up and then put a weight, and then
that's how it feels like. Yeah, I know because I tried on the tail. I was like, you know what? Let me see if I'm going to drown my actress. So I put on the tails, and I was like, okay, this is very hard. Let's see what I can do to safety proof it a little bit. And but yeah, no, I'm glad I tested it because I think a lot of directors just expect everything out of their actors and they don't take
Mhm.
into consideration the environments that they put them in. And like all that affects performance and like the well-being of the talent. And so I wanted to make sure that I took that into consideration because I knew we had such a difficult shoot schedule.
Yeah.
We only shot this in 11 principal days.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, it was not out of it was out of necessity, sadly. Like I originally wanted to shoot in at least 15 days,
Mhm.
but because it was such a low budget film, we were forced to do it in 11 days, basically. Yeah. And so and the way that that's possible is to minimize as many errors as you can. And to do that, you just have to do a lot of planning, a lot of testing, and to account for things like that. So, yeah. So,
Wow.
whatever I could do to make it as comfortable as possible, I was going to do. So, yeah. So, through testing, that's when we realized, oh, the swimming with your legs tied with a weight is like very difficult. So, we designed a slit on the side of the tail, like an abort. I call the SOS slit basically, but it's like a zipper portion. So just
Okay.
in case she can like unzip it and like stick out a leg and like
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
plant it,
Yeah.
but still look like she's in the tail. You know, just it's just for safety and it's just like swimming like that takes so much strength, time,
Yeah.
and just like effort and like you're doing this stuff over and over and over again. It's pretty impossible to keep to act well and also be expected to perform constrained like that. So whatever it could do to make it
Mhm.
enjoyable
I know,
Yeah,
right?
because
in a
Exactly.
swamp with
yeah, because once I
mosquitoes.
was in the tail, like I was medically glued in, so we couldn't take it off. So we having that as an option was we needed that.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
it was intense.
Yeah, definitely. And I always like asking this, like, was there any funny or cool behind the scenes stories that happened while you were filming?
Golly.
Yeah. There's one that was really funny. It was during the finale. So the finale is by far the hardest thing to shoot.
Mhm.
Originally, we had scheduled the finale in the first week of shooting, but the problem with writing something that takes place in the river is that the river don't give a f what you want, right? So the river just changes and does what Mother Nature wants to do. So when I got to the property, I realized everything that I'd written for the beach was completely flooded for the
Oh no.
majority of the time that we were there.
Several feet.
Yeah, like completely. So,
Mhm.
so we would get there and there would be no beach, and then but it wasn't raining, and we would not understand why the beach was completely flooded until we realized, oh, because of nature, a place somewhere far away might be raining and that water could be rushing
Mhm.
down and flooding where you are basically. So of course you don't think about this when you're writing. And so all that what happened was by the time we were at our finale, I had to completely reblock all the stunts on the day of because we couldn't push the shoot date for the finale any further. It was the last day. And at the end of the night, which was around like 5:30 a.m., when we finished, when we wrapped, the entire beach reappeared. So Mother Nature was giving us a big middle finger and being like, you wanted the beach? There you go. You're wrapped, bitches. And yeah. So yeah, we power through, but I now I can laugh about it. In the moment, it was not funny at all.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, but yeah, no, we literally pushed this finale every single day. We'd be like, okay, maybe tomorrow. Nope. Okay, maybe the day after that. Okay, next week. Okay, let's do it. Nope, we can't do that day either. Or the next day. Nope. And it's fine. It's the last day, guys. We have to shoot the finale.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think my funny times, they all involve my dog. Either the one time where they had gone in my trailer to get my practice tail out, or something they needed to get out of it, and my chihuahua just took off running. So one of the guys on the crew named Ben, my chihuahua doesn't like guys, by the way. So he thinks he's free. So he's running, probably looking for me. And Ben tries to grab him and he's like, so Ben was like, I am not going to get bit by this dog. So he walkies, because I remember I was talking to Carla and she was like, copy. And then she just kind of like gracefully made her way out of the room. And then she came back to let me know. She's like, I had to wash your dog. So I was like, what? Because it was out of nowhere. She just came up, was like, I had to wash your dog. I'm like, what? She said, he got out and he got in the mud. And so I didn't want to just wash him. And so if he's wet, that's why. And it made me laugh. It made me laugh. That, and so Christine had each day of the week, and this is something no one knows because I haven't talked about it. She, it was like different theme days. So they would have like pirate theme, or let me see, Hawaiian shirt day, or mermaid theme day. And I Amazoned a mermaid outfit for my chihuahua. It was male, by the way, but he was about to be in drag. And I put the little red wig on him because it had a little red wig, and the little seashells for his boobs, and like the little shell tail. And the girls and I ran and hid during lunch, and then we played the Little Mermaid song, and I had him up like Lion King. And Christina's like, oh my God.
I laughed really hard. It was much needed comedic relief. Yes. But yeah, no, it was, oh my God. I like to make our sets fun, and our AD team helps to like create themes of the day for each of the call sheet days, and it'll be easy stuff like, oh, everybody wear blue or whatever, type thing. It's also to test whether people read the call sheet or not. So we we'll write it, and like only if you read the call sheet will you see theme of the day and what it is. And so that was like a little test, like if you didn't dress up then you didn't read the call sheet. But yeah, no, the mermaid,
smart.
Yes, exactly. And so we had all sorts of themes, and that was great. I did not expect to see the Little Mermaid pop out in the form of a chihuahua.
Oh my God. Yeah, on the social media, the Erzulie social media page, they have the picture of him standing on the stage.
That's so funny.
And the little, it's super cute.
Nice.
Good time.
And another thing I always ask guests when I have them on, because as you know, I'm a big horror fan, and I know right before we got on the live, you said you didn't like horror films too much, but are there any horror films you both do like to watch?
I feel like the one that I do enjoy I really liked Get Out. But but I feel like Get Out skewed more thriller than horror, although it is often classified as horror. What is your opinion? Do you think Get Out is a horror film?
I think it's a horror film because it does have horror elements to it,
Right. Yeah. What in your opinion constitutes a horror film? Because like I guess when I think of horror, I always think of like slasher films and that stuff. I'm not a huge fan of, like just death and blood and guts for the sake of blood and guts, but like for someone who's a horror expert, what are the must-haves for a horror film?
Good question. I would like to know this as well.
Well, I mean, for me, like horror films don't have to be like blood and slashing and Jason and Freddy and all that stuff. Like it don't have to be slasher. Like you can actually have a good horror movie with just like scary, like something that's scary. And there were horror films where like there's not a lot of killings, and it's just like the whole movie is like eerie.
The suspense aspect.
And there's so many different forms of like horror films. It's crazy. Like you got the slashers, and you got paranormal, and you got like the demon films, the ghost films, the films that are just creepy and eerie, and like it's all different kinds of like horror films in like
Yeah.
the horror world.
Yeah, I would say this is like a fantastical, and yeah, there is this the suspense is definitely, we play on that aspect for sure. It's a creature
Mhm.
like fantastical aspect. So yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah. But like I love Get Out. I think the reason why I'm drawn to Get Out is because I respect writers that put, I guess, meaning and like a bigger message
Mhm.
into a film, but they hide it so well that you don't realize you're actually learning something,
Right.
societal or just
Exactly.
a messaging aspect. And that's what I wanted to do in Erzulie, is hide important messaging that I feel like needs to be talked about, but in an unassuming genre. So you go in being like, oh, you're entertained,
Yeah.
but then you're like, oh shit, did I learn something? So I don't like beating people over the head. I like to create content that just makes people question what they believe in and
Yeah.
maybe sway them to think some other way. Who knows? Just opening up the conversation. So
Okay. All right. All right. I like that.
Okay, so it has to be one that we like, right?
Yeah.
I would say it's between, and these are like scary to me because there's some stuff that's like super scary where I will, anything possession wise ain't gonna happen. Demon wise ain't gonna happen. Like I can do Ghostbusters, but so I would say one of them for me, because I'll give you two. One is Signs.
Yeah.
hmm.
Signs,
See,
because
I
Signs,
saw Signs more as like a sci-fi film than a
it
horror
gave me
film.
nightmares.
What do you think? Is that,
It gave me nightmares.
would you consider that a horror film?
I mean, Signs. No, I wouldn't consider Signs a horror because that's more like alien films. So it's more
It's
like the
sci-fi.
sci-fi. Yeah.
Oh,
Huh.
well, dang. Okay.
But if Signs scared you, you could put that in horror.
Okay, so Gremlins, would Gremlins count?
That
Gremlins is not
actually
a
was
horror film.
considered a horror. That actually was considered a horror movie.
It
The Gremlins.
was? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I suck at this. Okay. Critters?
Critters was considered a horror comedy.
Critters gives me nightmares.
Yeah.
Like, I could never go anywhere near the lint in the washing machine after that movie. Gobstoppers scared the shit out of me. Anything round, I was like, oh, it's gonna freaking kill me. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
So I didn't
so
play.
surprised that Gremlins is a horror film.
Yeah, they actually made that. They consider it horror comedy. It's like a mixture of both.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else is
Okay.
it? Now I got to go through my repertoire of horror films that I've seen. I like Jason.
Okay.
Because I just laugh at the people because they're so freaking stupid. Like, I'm just like, you deserve it. Well, no, you don't deserve to die. No one deserves to die. You dumb as hell. We'll just say that. I watch for the ignorance that I know I would survive in. So
Okay, here you go.
What's your favorite?
oh, he
My
said it.
favorite, Night of the Demons is
That
like
was
my
it. Yeah. So
all-time
is that like what
favorite
is that
horror
like a
movie.
slasher film, or like what is that like?
It's like it's a mix between slasher and like demon possession and all that stuff, and that's the one you don't like. I know.
Hell no, that's double stuff. I went. I'm like, oh no, nope.
Like once it's about like of course like a typical 80s horror movie. It's a bunch of teenagers that want to party on Halloween night at this abandoned like big house, and the house is shut down for a reason because they said it's a house that leads to the other world, and they still go and break in the house, and they do a seance in the house that brings the demon out, and it possesses them, and when they get possessed they like slash and kill like the rest of the so it's like a slasher demon possession.
Oh, well, that's interesting. See,
Look at her face.
I think working on horror films is very fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
I
just
feel
read
like it would be too. I agree.
it's fun because the behind the scenes is exceptionally ridiculous, you know. So like because you watch something, you're like, oh, things are coming out of the hole. I bet there's somebody behind there pushing the stuff out, and it is right. There is somebody sitting behind the wall throwing things out of a hole. Like it's just funny things like that, you know. And it's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't seem scary at all when you're making it, and then like later on, like there's a scene in our film that's very much like that.
Oh,
There's
okay.
there's some blood and guts, and in the moment while we were making it, it was like this is not scary at all. Like I know, like we shot this little scene. It was a pickup, so it literally was shot like on a driveway, like in public, and
Okay.
like we had the blood and guts, and it's supposed to people freak out with
Yeah.
this scene. Like every single screening we've had, people go,
They're
and
like, oh,
yeah, and it's so
Oh,
funny to me
nice.
because I know how it was shot. We were literally like, it's like if you were in a like a garage driveway, and we shot this little tight shot of some guts, and it, I don't know. It's just, but that's the funny part. I think it's like seeing what people find scary, but you know what you did to accomplish that shot.
but I love
Exactly.
that shot because you don't, the thing is, it's like, even what we see leading up to it, you don't expect that to happen. Like every time I've watched it, I'm just like, there is nothing that would in any way denote that's what's going to happen next. But then when you see what, you're like, oh shit, wow. I was not expecting that. Like it feels that way every time because there's nothing that prepares you for it. It's just bam in your face. Yeah.
It was definitely that. I definitely punched people with a
Yeah.
bloody, gory
Nice.
spot.
Nice.
People got
nice.
punched. That's for sure. Yeah, visually.
and and what's on your playlist for the both of you? Like, what kind of music do you like listening to?
Oh, you know what? I'm a 90s child. So
Okay.
I'm a big 90s person. And in fact, a lot of that went into the design of the music for Erzulie.
Nice.
90s inspired things. So like the intro song is very much inspired like by No Doubt and like girl power, angry girl, like rock some music, you know. So and there's multiple parts where the background music sounds maybe slightly similar to Nirvana, you know, and things like that. I love the 90s. I think that was a time where there was a big variety of musical sounds and tones, and people were emo and angry, and it was just fun. I don't know. I'm a big 90s person.
Yeah.
I think you are too, Leila, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my music palette is everywhere. Like I was listening to music that because I want to learn how to play the harp. So I was listening
nice.
to some harp music earlier this morning, and then I had on God, who that was jamming out to Queen earlier, and then Rush earlier. So I'm all over the place, and then country music. So there is no where that my palette of music has not gone. So I'm very enigmatic when it comes to music.
Okay. Okay. Nice. And where can fans watch the movie and stream it? And
Yeah. So I would say definitely follow along at our website, which is erzulifilm.com. And that same handle, Erzulie Film, is the same for Instagram as well and Facebook. And right now, if you go on Amazon, I would say the most common are Amazon and iTunes. You can go search for Erzulie, you'll be able to find it. I've heard things like Voodoo as well, Google Play, or some other spots as well. And there, you can actually even order a DVD now on Blu-ray
nice.
on Amazon. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, no. So pretty much whatever, I would say we cover most of the transactional video on demand places. But yeah, if you want to get like insider information and stuff, definitely follow us on Instagram and at our website. It's what gets updated the most, at least.
Okay.
So
So yeah, it's everywhere. It's even on PlayStation,
Oh
YouTube.
wow, really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the PlayStation, you can rent it on YouTube. Yep, as well. I
Suddenlink,
think it's like
Prime Video,
$3.99.
Cox, Wow, Frontier, Comcast, Shaw, Armstrong, Spectrum. Yeah, there's a lot. A lot. I don't even know if it'll show up if it shows.
Yes, there we go.
It does show up, yeah.
It does show up.
Oh
All of
wow,
those.
nice.
Probably backwards, and I just
No,
realized.
no, it's showing good.
No, it's showing great,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
telling everybody to hashtag Erzulie watch party.
Yes.
Even if you're just watching by yourself, because we're just
Okay.
trying to spread the word. So
Okay, definitely will.
And send us videos of your reaction, like during if you want to, or you can send us videos of what you felt afterwards. And we like to post that up and tag those that have seen it and give them some appreciation. So
yeah,
Be
because
kind.
Erzulie is, I don't know if Leila mentioned it, is the first Black Mermaid film. So
oh yeah,
Wow.
ever,
Yes.
ever,
ever, which is
Ever.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, first Black
Yeah.
Mermaid feature film. There are shorts,
Yes.
but no feature films. Yeah, first
Okay.
one, because we beat the live action Little Mermaid film. That's not
Yeah.
coming out till 2023. So we are the first Black Mermaid. And the thing is that like that's a reenactment of a story that already exists. This is the first. I mean, this will always be the first Black Mermaid film because we wrote it for POC. So it's not like we just casted someone because, so
Oh wow.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it's
Can-
historically
So yeah,
important.
Can congrats on the film and being the first Black goddess
Aw.
mermaid.
Yes.
thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
And where can fans find you both at? Like, what are your own pages? Like, your
Oh, well,
media?
I run a production company called Moth to Flame Films. So if you go on IG and look up Moth to Flame Films, you'll be able to find it if you Google that. My personal one is CCHEN MTF, short for Moth to Flame MTF. So
That's what that stands for.
yeah, Moth to Flame. Yeah.
You know what's weird? When I see your handle, I think of CCTV, and I was like, oh, she likes 90s, so maybe she likes throwback.
Oh no.
So that's what
CCHEN MTF, Moth to Flame.
I don't know where I got the V from, but that's
It's
what
all good.
weird. What is my handle? My handle is my first and middle name, so it's Leila Anastasia.
Yes, but spell it with two N's.
Yes,
It's so confusing.
That's how I was like, it took me actually, I had one N on my driver's license until it was like 20 something years, like 24. And I had to get my driver's license renewed and I had to bring in my birth certificate. And I was like, there's two N's. So then
So basically, she didn't even know she had two N's in her name.
no, I didn't.
Which is what confused everybody else in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, because my email has one N, and that's
I know. I was like,
why.
Leila, which one is it?
Like, yeah, that's why. But my IMDb says the right name.
Only recently.
Only reason.
I'm like, does it? I don't know when I changed it. When did I don't know. Yeah.
And before you came on, Christine, we were talking about wrestling and
Oh.
she's a big Roman Reigns fan, and I still watch, and I told her that Roman Reigns has been the world champion now for 2 years without getting beat.
That man is fun.
I don't know
That man is
anything
fun.
about wrestling.
I need to go to Hawaii. I mean, I need to work on myself first. Anybody got time to be with nobody right now? But I need to go to Hawaii. I need to go to Maui. So maybe I'll go to Hawaii before I meet Chris Evans. You know, I have to take my time. You know, have some fun. You know,
Manifest that. Yes.
Oh, yes. Working on it.
There you go. Right.
Well, I hope you get to watch it. And
I definitely am. Like
Yes.
I plan on watching it this week. I don't know why I thought it wasn't out yet, but it is out. So
it's okay. That's
it is
fine.
Australian. It is Australian. I just heard it.
It's because you're Australian and you didn't even know it.
Damn, you're
That's
faking.
That's
that's
why.
true. That's
So
true.
you're
an-
an
Because I
I'm
live in
assuming-
Australia and not Philadelphia. That
This
I'm
is a
using
whole
that
front.
as a fake
You've been
location.
yes, we've got you. We are onto you, sir.
You're not even the real Rocco. You're probably
Yeah.
somebody from the mob.
Where is
And
Rocco?
Rocco's like tied the hell up in the back.
Yeah.
And, we're just, and there's like, just get through it and then we'll deal with him.
Right? I mean, I am a big horror fan, so you never know, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, life
That's true.
imitating
Oh.
art. Goodness gracious. Hey, that's a good premise.
Dun.
That's a really good premise.
the twist. That would be
Starts-
some shit. I really hope that's not the case because I would have.
It's not, I swear.
Now I'm like, uh-oh.
I know because I'm like, oh shit.
We've actually been talking to a serial killer.
And I'm like, man, we couldn't save Rocco. I would.
I mean, I could prove it if you go on my Brew Room Show page and look at every single interview. It's me.
Okay, good. Good. At least we know you're safe.
You know you're talking to filmmakers when our
Yes.
brains go there.
Exactly. I don't hear the Australian thing but it's so weird because like not everyone, a few people already have said that to me that I have an Australian act, but I don't know. I always thought it was a Philly one.
Well, now it sounds like Philly. So you're going in and out of who you really are.
Where is Rocco?
Exactly. So it does sound like Philly because oh my gosh, you said something that made me want to laugh when right before the interview or a little bit right when Christine came on, or you were like, "You guys ready?" I've never heard anybody say "you guys" ever unless I'm watching a mob movie.
You guys. I
He
used
said,
to
"You
say
guys." He was like,
yeah,
"Are
you guys.
ready?"
Yeah, I don't think I've said that. I've definitely said that you got like yeah.
I say y'all. I'm from Texas.
I've now converted to saying y'all too, and I'm like,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I've lived in Texas long enough. I lived in Austin for 10 years, so you kind of get
Nice.
converted. It's just easier to say it. Yeah.
Yeah,
yous
y'all.
guys. Yeah.
What? It's easier to say "you guys" versus y'all.
I don't know that I was born and raised in Philly, and that's what we say. We're like, you guys, you know, that's the thing. That's what we say.
Wow, we're learning a lot. You say you guys, and also you are not even Rocco. So that's great. Yeah, you're Australian.
Yeah.
I'm the Philly Australian, jumping back and forth from one country to another. Well, this has been really fun. Thank you both so much for taking
Absolutely.
time out and
Of
coming on the
course.
show and talking about the film.
Yeah, thank you for
Absolutely.
having us.
Yes, thank
Please
you.
let us know when you've watched the film and what you
Yes.
think, because coming from a horror fanatic, I would be very interested in knowing your thoughts, just because I
Okay,
am not
definitely.
someone who is a horror fanatic. I just love telling stories. And so I would love to know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, tag us in if you
Now that you know all of our
us
behind the
know.
scenes stuff, now you got to look
Yeah.
out for what we were talking about. Yeah.
Right, exactly. I'm definitely watching it this week, and as soon as I watch, I'm gonna send you both a message, and
Perfect. We would love that.
Yay, thank you.
Yes,
I will
yes.
also send you a link to when I post the interview too.
Fantastic.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Definitely. So I'll go eat my all seafood now. And
You go let out Rocco from the closet.
yeah. I'll go open the door to let him out.
Sounds great. Well, have a good rest of your week, guys.
Thank you. You
Yes,
too.
thank you.
Thanks.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Out.